In this section, I will provide you with an introduction to some of the fundamental commands, tools, and functions that we will use throughout this video series. If you pay close attention here, the operations you encounter in the upcoming lessons will not seem confusing. First, let's briefly talk about the relationship between AutoCAD and Civil 3D. I assume you already have some basic understanding of AutoCAD commands and workflows, because Civil 3D is built on the AutoCAD platform. For this reason, many of its core functions are very similar to those in AutoCAD, such as creating objects, copying, placing, and so on. Even if you do not have deep knowledge, that is fine. The important point is that we will focus only on the essential functions required for road design in Civil 3D, so that you do not face difficulties in future lessons. 1. Object Snap, OSNLP. One of the most important functions is Object Snap. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a small square icon. When you hover over it, the tooltip says Object Snap, commonly called OSNLP. It can be toggled on or off by pressing F3. When it is active, the icon is highlighted in blue. When inactive, it is grayed out. OSNLP enables precise snapping to existing geometry points, endpoints, midpoints, centers, intersections, etc. If you click the small arrow beside it, you can see the full list of available snap modes. It is recommended to keep all of them enabled, checked. For example, if you draw a polyline and want to start exactly at the endpoint of another polyline, OSNLP will automatically detect and snap to that point. Similarly, it can detect the midpoint, center, or intersection. If OSNLP is turned off, Civil 3D will not recognize those points, and your drawing precision will be compromised. 2. Dynamic Input. The second important function is Dynamic Input, activated with the F12 key. On some laptops, you may need to press Fun plus F12. When disabled, all commands and input values appear only in the command line. When enabled, command prompts and input values also appear next to the cursor, which makes drafting faster and more intuitive. For example, when you start the polyline command, the options for entering coordinates will appear near your cursor. If you find this display distracting, you can turn it off again with F12 and continue working in the command line. 3. Selection Cycling. The third important function is selection cycling. This is very useful when multiple objects overlap at the same location. When enabled, if you click on an area with several objects, for example, overlapping polylines, Civil 3D will display a small dialog box asking which object you want to select. When disabled, clicking will randomly pick one of the objects, often leading to mistakes. When enabled, you can deliberately choose the desired object from the list. To activate it, simply click the selection cycling icon in the status bar. If the icon is blue, it is active. If gray, it is inactive. In case the icon does not appear in your status bar, click on the customization menu, the 3 horizontal lines at the far right of the status bar. Then enable selection cycling from the list. Summary. To summarize, the 3 most important functions you need to get comfortable with before starting the course are Object Snap, OSNLP, toggled with F3, Dynamic Input, toggled with F12, Selection Cycling, activated from the status bar. Mastering these basic functions will make it much easier for you to follow along with the upcoming lessons in Civil 3D.